College, very fine and not well enough known composer, so I kind of make it a deal for myself to champion his music. And this piece, Pom Poms and Fans, seemed perfect to celebrate an ordination. It's 1938, so it's him sort of later in his career, and some very wonderful kind of magical harmonies. That's my seat.
Good morning. Welcome to our first Sunday in November. Where has this year gone? Whether you are in person with us today, and I'm delighted to see so many of you here, or joining us online, welcome today. Summit is a liberal religious community bound together by our shared principles drawn from world religions, humanist teachings, nature, science, philosophy, and personal practices. We aspire to be a religion of love and inclusion. The mission of Summit is to commit ourselves to building a more just, sustainable, and compassionate world. If you are new to Unitarian Universalism or to Summit and would like to know more about us, you may either talk to any of us here today or go to our website, summituuf.org, to find out more. We have a few announcements today. Why do we have all these dragons in the room? Would you please come and explain it?
It's an invasion.
Obviously. Come on up.
It's the year of the dragon, that's why we have it. All right, good morning. I'm Steve Allen, and Shannon couldn't make it today, so she sent me here to thank everyone for all the helping hands, the support, and the amazing donations we have received to support this year's auction, okay? Which, by the way, is 2 weeks from today. Save the date, the 16th. Oh, excuse me, 2 weeks from yesterday. Thank you. That's why she should be doing this, right? Okay. So 2 weeks from yesterday, the 16th, save the date. Today is the donation deadline, so if you brought donations with you today or you're going to get them and bring them back, they will go straight to the office. Okay, we have a table set up there for that. Today we're also starting the raffle early, so their table's set up in the back underneath the new clock. I'll be back there selling raffle tickets after the service, so and we'll be doing the same thing next Sunday and then actually the day of the event on the 16th. Okay, Sandy.
Good morning. I'm helping with the registration, which actually we're trying to make really simple this year. We'll see if that works out. Basically, you just have to buy a ticket and enter the required information online. And it's in the e-news about how to do it. You just click on the URL or use the QR code with your phone. But I made some handouts in case you don't read the e-news, and I'll provide those to you. In fact, if you raise your hand after this, I'll personally provide them to you, and I'll sit at the table in the back and answer questions on the registration. Basically, everyone buys a ticket for $20. It's a donation toward Summit, and that will allow you to bid online, to come in person, eat the great food, see the entertainment, and bid in person as well. Child care included. Thank you, Mary. I think that's all I have to say at the moment. Thank you. Why don't you raise your hand if you want one of these hard copies?
And I'll be selling tickets in the back here for the raffle after the service.
And parents of young children, if you are interested in childcare, free childcare that evening, please RSVP with Mary so we make sure we have enough childcare workers for all the little ones. The grief group will be meeting in the Star Wars High School room after the service at noon today. Since we're having coffee hour in this place, in the greeting room, and just outside, due to, in case you hadn't noticed, the salon is a polling site. If you haven't voted yet, you can do so today after church. Drop off your ballot or vote in person. And the way that the voting system works nowadays is regardless of where you live, you can go to any poll center and they will call up your ballot for your neighborhood, so you're voting for your proper slate of candidates. So as long as you're registered in the county of San Diego, you can go vote there today. We wish to acknowledge that our fellowship resides on unceded Kumeyaay land, and that for 10,000 years, this land has been the continuous home of the Kumeyaay people. We recognize the violent history of colonization of California and honor the continuing presence of the Kumeyaay Nation. We light this chalice for all who are here and all who are not, for all who have ever walked through our doors, and for those who may yet find this spiritual home, and for those who we cannot yet even imagine. For each of us, and for all of us, may this flame burn bright and warm. Please stand as you are willing and able for the UU hymn and aspiration. If you would like to stay standing, our first hymn today will be number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Casey Marie Pandell. I am the minister here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether this is your first visit or your 5,000th visit, you are whole, you are holy, you are loved, and you are so welcome here. Our joys and concerns can be emailed or texted to me throughout the week, or can be handwritten near the chancel on a Sunday morning. All are welcome to light a candle of joy or concern, whether it is shared verbally or not. Nathalie shares a concern that both of her moms are full-time caregivers for her fathers, and she thinks that they need to be lifted up and cared for. Nathalie, we are sending your mothers all our love and support as they go on this journey as caregivers. I'm working on it, Sandy, I really am. Do you want to come up and say it? Because I think you can say it better than I can. Thank you.
Handwriting issue. But we, the Bernsteins, just wanted to thank Ken and Carol Davis for proactively inviting us to stay at their home along with our cats during the evacuation. We were right at the edge of the evacuation area, but I did get a emergency evacuate now, maybe mistaken, but it was very smoky, so we did leave for a couple hours. Everything's fine. We got back okay, and the cats kept their boxes clean too, so that was nice. Thanks.
And Eleanor shares that she lights her candle today for hope and joy. And I'm going to invite Mary Carter Vale for one more.
Good morning. One of our former members, Wilderness Rose, sort of sharing some information that she's been sharing publicly on Facebook. Her daughter Autumn, who was part of our youth group and raised, in community here. Some of you were her mentors. She is in the final stage of life. She has brain cancer, and Rose has been very public about it on her Facebook and her Instagram, and would love, if you want to send her a little comment of support. It's a very sad time, so I just wanted to let you all know that. So hold Rose and Autumn in your heart, please. Thank you.
Whether spoken or unspoken, we hold you in our hearts. So you may have noticed that today looks a little different. Sorry to spring that on you. We're going to do a little bit of a ceremony that some of you were able to attend last week, but it felt very important to give everyone the chance to participate in a really important, really you-specific way of doing this particular ceremony. So I would like to invite our board president, Debbie Wingard.
Good morning. I am Debbie Wingard, the president here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, only congregations have the authority and privilege to ordain ministers. We have the honor and responsibility of adding another minister to the lineage of clergy that reaches far back in time and far forward into the future. We confer a sacred charge upon our ministers, entrusting them with the lifelong task of ministry. The act of ordination bestows the authority of religious leadership, the title of reverend, and the privilege to wear a stole. Casey, you have been serving in ministry for 3 years now in various roles. Recognizing your call to serve this faith and having received the recommendation of the Ministerial Fellowship Committee of the UUA, by the authority of this congregation, we wish to offer you ordination. Are you prepared to accept the mantle of ministry?
I am.
Will the members of the Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship rise in mind, body, or spirit and join me in reading the words of ordination on the screen? By the authority granted by our living tradition, we, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Fullerton and Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, you, Casey Marie Pandell, to the Unitarian Universalist Ministry. We charge you to build beloved community wherever you go, teach the truth and love, and work for the justice with hope. Today, we joyfully affirm your ministry. Whoop. Those in the lovely community wherever we go, to speaking with love and to working for justice and joy and hope. Whoop. No, not yet.
Almost.
Casey's ministry go beyond the walls of any particular congregation. Will everyone in attendance please join me in reading the words of blessing on the screen? This was everyone because we had 2 congregations there last week.
And not everyone in attendance is a member yet.
So, Casey, we have journeyed with you on your path to this moment, and we will continue to be sources of love and support to you. With joy and pride, we affirm your ordination today and offer our blessings upon your ministry. May your ministry nourish you, and may it be a source of love, justice, and healing for you and the world.
It is with humility, joy, and profound gratitude that I accept the responsibility of the ministry to which you ordained me. I will strive to serve our Unitarian Universalist faith with vision, patience, and joy. I pledge myself to nurture compassion and hope, to bear witness to the pain and the promise of life, to work to counter oppression in the world, and to embody the values of our living tradition. I dedicate myself to this work, knowing that, like those who came before me and those who will come after, I cannot do this alone. I take up the ministry to which you ordain me. May our faith transform our communities, ourselves, and our world.
At this point, I would like to offer you a gift from the congregation and made by our own Eleanor Weed, and that is a beautiful stole. It's official.
Oh! Thank you. Thank you so much. I need to open, okay. Oh, so it's a surprise for all of us. Oh, yay. It's a chalice with dog paws. Thank you. No, it's a chalice with dog paws. Thank you.
I'm the Reverend Julie Forrest, and I have been working with your board for the last 2 years, and I am delighted to be here to offer the opportunity for this congregation to do a hands-on blessing. So I invite you to stand as you wish to participate. Come forward and put your hands right on her, surrounding her. This is hands-on prayer. It's kind of like an altar call. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, come near. Spirit, 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 come near. In this time that we are in, we don't know what's going to happen. For some of us, this is a very anxious time. And yet, what do we know? We know that love is at the center of our religious faith. We know that no matter what happens, we are here together. And that's the most important part of this ministerial blessing. This congregation will hold up Reverend Casey to do the work of ministry, to lead this church. And Reverend Casey knows that the ministry is a mutual engagement. She needs you. She needs your blessing today, and she needs you to keep communicating with how you need to be led, how you need to be served, how you need to be healed. So I invite you to put all that love in your heart, all the care for this community into your hands, and let it flow through your hands to receive. Casey, do you feel it?
I do.
Blessed be and amen. You may now slowly go back to your seats.
We were so excited. We forgot about the children's
I
recessional.
know. So the kids and I are going to head off to RE, and we're going to go visit the polls today. So it's going to be very exciting. They're all going to get stickers. So, all right. So if we can do our children's.
And please rise in mind, body, or spirit as you are able to join us in singing hymn 1031 in our soft teal hymnal filled with loving kindness. please join me in a time of silent prayer, meditation, or reflection? Spirit of life and love, all that is known and unknown, that which connects each of us through our souls and on this journey through life. We feel the love and the energy and the joy in this room. We know the days ahead may be hard, but we know when we come into this place together, we are held with love at the center. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. As these days may loom heavy in our minds, we know that we have the love and kindness and support of each person in this room. May we always be so blessed to find that comfort and spirit together. Amen. We're going to do something a little different again today. We're going to see how it goes. I promise I won't do this to you forever. I always tell you guys there's a really thin line between a sermon and a hostage situation. We're going to toe that line a little bit today. On Thursday, Mary and I were working in the office, and we looked at each other, and I said, Mary, I got nothing in the tank. I feel toast. She said, yeah, I think it's Samhain. It's the day where the veil is the thinnest, and particularly for those who are grieving, it can be a particularly difficult day. She said, how do you feel about going to lunch and just pausing what we're doing? And as we sat at lunch, we thought a lot about what the next week of our lives is going to look like. I'm going to warn you guys now. Many experts have told us, do not expect a result on election night. We're in it for the long haul, folks. We kept wondering what we could do to support this community through the anxiety of not knowing, and in the aftermath, whatever may happen, how we can support people who are celebrating and the people who are hurting. And yet, as we kept having this conversation, we thought, gosh, we're so darn tired. And then Mary got an alert on her phone about the Montezuma fire, which is less than 3 miles away from my apartment. And Mary said, Casey, you're coming to my house. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Go get your go bag and come up to Ramona. And even though the evacuation orders were lifted that night, we still spent the evening at the ranch with the stars innumerable among us, the beautiful fresh air up at the ranch, and with more dog loves than we could possibly have counted between the two of us. And we kept thinking, what are we going to do? Why is this so hard? And I think that's just it. Because yesterday, as I was trying desperately to write my sermon, you can see I have no script today. It's because every time I tried to figure out what I wanted to say, it didn't feel like enough. So I texted Mary and I said, am I crazy for trying to do this? Let's use better language than that. Am I off the mark here? Is this a bad idea? She said, I think if you can frame it, you'll do good. And I kept thinking about why I was struggling to write, and I realized it's not about saying the right words today. It might not even be about being eloquent. Sometimes I think what we need is just to be for real with each other, right? This week is really scary. I'm going to say it. We don't know what our world is going to look like in a few days. I'm scared. I'm nervous. And if I am, I think a lot of us in this room are too, and a lot of you at home. But I think the key here is hope. See, I know we're nervous, but there's nothing so bad about what we are worried about that we are entirely hopeless. I had a friend a few months ago, before there was a change in our candidates, who said, I just can't be excited about anything. And she kept telling me how worried she was, and finally I had to tell her to stop, because I cannot be so hopeless. It is not in my nature. Call it eternally optimistic golden retriever energy. Call it naivete if you need. I cannot be so hopeless. I'm not in the business of fear-mongering. Let that be other pastors and other faiths. I am in the business of hope-bringing and joyful celebration. And I get to do it here with you every single week. I started reading Adrienne Marie Brown's Emergent Strategy yesterday. I wish I could have read more, but life's weird sometimes. And one of the things she talks about in her book is that we know this world isn't perfect. We know that we have to make concessions, but we can still dream impossible things into being. But it's not with grand motions, it's not with big proclamations. It starts here. She talks about dandelions, which most of us may see as a weed, but how beautiful that those little seeds fly across the nature world and find new places to land. It's not about these big moments, it's about the small ones. These little moments in between each other. A held hand, a hug, a smile. That's where we find hope. Now, I know it's hard. I've thought it, I've said it out loud when we have people who disagree with our politics so desperately the way we're seeing. Whatever happens, we're Americans first in this room, right? I hope so. That's part of our Unitarian Universalist faith, is being open to everyone, even those we disagree with. So I challenge you in these coming days, when you start feeling that anxiety and that hopelessness, how we can make those small connections, that emergent strategy of growing our hope in what feels like a hopeless time. We're going to have a lot of work to do on the other side of this, and it's not necessarily going to be fun. We're going to have to, in some places, some of us, not everyone has this work to do equally, are going to have to extend our hands across the aisle. We're going to have to do a lot of repair work. How can we do it together with hope and with joy? And I remind you, as we talked about a few weeks ago with the elevator pitch that I sent you all, at the center of it all is love. Love will get us through. We've seen it happen with Norbert Chapek. We've seen it happen during the civil rights movement. We're seeing it happen now in the Ukraine, in Gaza, and here, every single day. It's that love that is going to bring us through. And it's that love that is going to keep us grounded every step of the way. So may it be, and amen.
Thank you, Casey. It's now time for our morning offering. Your Sunday offering is a gift that provides Summit UU Fellowship with the financial resources to help build a better world together. Any size gift is welcome. For those of you on Zoom, the link can be found in the chat box, and as well as the virtual order of service. Please select the Sunday plate option to allocate your donation to the appropriate account. Thank you.
This is Scarlet Hearts by Naoko Ikeda. She is living in Sapporo, Japan, where she's lived basically her whole life and is a very eminent composer and teacher and wonderful musician who incorporates traditional Japanese sound and other Western forms of music.
Our final hymn this morning is number 1014, Answering the Call of Love. The words have been rewritten, so please follow the screen, not the hymnal.
May answering the call of love. A bright new day is dawning to learn the divine reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love, hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call
We are answering the call of love. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. We are such stuff as dreams are made on. We have heard these words of dreaming impossibility together for centuries. These words don't change because our times do, but we can change our times. I know there is hope in this room. You did something so hopeful today. You ordained a new minister. You see a bright future ahead with all of us. My unending gratitude for your trust and my absolute blessings for the road ahead. We are the dreamers of dreams. So may we go forth and dream impossibility into reality. Amen, shalom, salam, ashe, namaste, and blessed be. Go now in peace. May the light within you be a blessing to the world.
Reverend Casey, would you please extinguish the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please join hands for the closing circle song. Are we going to have community gathering or just coffee hour kind of right here? Let's just have coffee hour and enjoy.